Test, test. Works. Awesome.
Tad jāpagaida vēl kāds 3 minūtes. Ērika, mani vispār dzird? Mikrofons ir? Toču ne ir mikrofons, jā? Juri, tu man dzird no mikrofona? Vai no manas balss? Gan. Labi, vēl kāds 2 minūtes pagaidām. Tie, kas slēdzās klāt un tie, kas izgāja. Varu, ko lai es pasaku? Nu, vēl 1 minūti dodam laiku, jā? Labi, sākam? Nu, let's start then. Don't be shy, you can sit also, not only to stand. Okay, then you can stand. Erik, gatavi? Rainer, gatavi? Okay, then let's maybe start. Maybe you can put out my presentation. So it's very nice to meet you on site and online. And there is such magical thing that is called STARRISE. And we are having the first STARRISE hackathon, but it is not like as usual hackathon, but it is much more like a warm-up hackathon. Because this is the beginning of the journey that will take 2 to 3 months. And why we are having this initiative, that by the end of this 2-3 months journey, we want to have a real project that can be presented to the investors, that can be also offered for project applications, for example, in the Horizon programs, or also to work towards this AEC accelerator. And now maybe something, the background of all this one. So yes, there is such a project called STARRISE with very, very long name. You can read it, I will not repeat it, but the main idea, it is towards the agri-food and logistics sector. And then we are also covering that not only this agri-food and logistics sectors, but also other adjusted sectors such as ICT, for example, that is contributing to agri-food and to the logistics and all other sectors that may contribute to these 2 sectors. Then we have 7 partner regions, 6 from the widening or from the developing regions, 1 developed region that is represented by the German partner, Kearney, Improve. And then you can see also the other partner coverage. But so now about this so-called STARRISE journey, you have heard about it, but now to understand where are these predefined ideas are coming from, so that they are not coming just from there, they are real background behind this one. So first of all, we approached so-called stakeholders. public stakeholders, authorities, policy makers. They were asked to identify on the regional level what challenges do they have, what do they want to solve. Then we had so-called STARRISE call for SMEs, where they were able to apply and to say that they want to hack and to contribute to some of these ideas, or they offer their own ideas and challenges, opportunities, what they have identified and see. And then we are now in the November. We are having the first so-called hackathons, the first point of STARRISE journeys project development part that will take till Saturday evening, where we are going to see which ideas are much more interesting for you, what you can offer for solutions. And then December, January, February, we are going to have something like so-called accelerator activities, where we are directly working with you, working with your ideas, working with your team, and we are also going to provide consulting, mentoring, or coaching. It depends on what you like better. We have a very good consulting company from Kernel. They are also will be one of these mentors and coaches. Then we have also technical guys who are going to support you. And actually, these technical guys will also have some inspiring speeches for you and also some master classes for these 2 days to see what technologies, maybe what you can use, what you have now, maybe what can you make and do it differently. Then on March, we're expecting to have the second or closing STARRISE Hackathon, where we really would like to see the ready, not totally ready-made, but very mature projects that can be presented later to the potential investors, including venture capital investors. We know that this is a very hard market, but it's also very nice naming. But besides venture capital, there is also other investors that might be interesting to take your idea and develop it further. Or we are working further with some project applications. So in this case, we are very interested that you succeed, that you have real outcomes, that you have maybe even some business cases on regional level, on inter-regional level. And for some of you, it can be just a fun, but for some of them, you might have a real business outcome of this one. Now, how we will do this? This is a so-called magical thing that is called design sprint. I know the people who are already smiling here, they are mentors and coaches. This design sprint is very popular. We can name the very loud names: Google, Facebook, Amazon, eBay, everything what you can imagine. We will use the same method, but in much more simple way or in much more complicated way. It's up to you. Usually the design sprint is taking 5 days. There is also a shorter version for 4 days, but you have to go through 5 steps. We will do it a bit different. You will start doing today, tomorrow, and then you will go further with this design sprint for next 2-3 months, so that you have to be trained for this one, and to have also some logical outcomes of this one, because you are having just the teams are setting up now. So, about the team formation. According to the design sprint theory, there should be 7 positions in the team. Here is listed only 6. One is decider, the person who will take this final decision or any decision in the team. The second is finance expert, of course, who at least understands something, what is difference between euro and between the dollar, between euro and cryptocurrency. So at least something he or she must understand. Then marketing expert, to see difference between Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, and shop. Then customer expert, then technology logistics expert, and design expert. Pretty much it doesn't mean that you must have all these positions covered in your team, with your team members. No, one person can cover several of these positions. But the idea is that you have to think from these 6 positions when you are developing the product or service. First of all, start thinking, then act. But did I say that there is 7 positions? I guess I said that there is 7 positions, but there is a 6th position. So where is the 7th position? The 7th position is so-called facilitator. In the large organizations, yes, the facilitator, it might be the chief of department or director or executive director, whatever, something that is having this team and pushing it forward, change manager, whatever, that taking this team and pushing it forward and forward and forward. The one thing is that facilitator should not be very, let's say, dictatorship oriented. So I cannot be the facilitator, but I will be. But in our cases, this facilitator, it will be as your coach, as your mentor. Why? Because these facilitators, in our case, in STARRISE case, these facilitators are the persons who were during this project identification on these particular sites. They saw the challenges, they had the talks with the SMEs, with the stakeholders, and they can guide you what they saw, how does it work, or how it does not work. So these facilitators in your case, they will be like as a coach, as mentors, and also the persons who will push you forward through the whole process. These will be these facilitators. Actually, they are not so bad guys. In this case, they will be good guys. Then the next thing is about the judging. You see, there is a lot of points how we will judge you on the Saturday evening. And it is a bit scary, right? I hope I scared you. But understand, diverge, decide, and prototype. Now let's return back. These are the same steps that you will follow this design sprint. And there is all pretty much already written what you will think about it and what you have to show it. It doesn't mean that we will be waiting from you presentation on 20 or 30 minutes presentation. Some 5-minute presentation that you have to show to us, that you have thought and speak about this, and how do you understand, who are the users and why. Then diverge, envision, develop a lot of solutions, then decide how you decide it, and the prototype. And you see that the 5th grade, it is the highest grade. The 1 grade, it is the lowest grade. So you see that for understanding, you have chance to have more the points. So this is what you can do by the Saturday evening rather easily. You can use different desktop research. You can call your friends. You can go outside on the street and speak to the people. That is what you can really do. The next thing is diverge. This is more like for some idea generation, solution generation, looking for the competitors, sketching these competitors, what are their advantages, disadvantages. This position scores less point. It doesn't mean that this position is not so important. It is still important. But as we all know, some of the people are rather shy. Some of the people are struggling a bit with the creativity. But in some cases, there are also project ideas. There might be only one solution, maybe 2 solutions. And definitely, these teams will not be able to create a lot of solutions because there is just only 1 or 2 solutions. That's why this position is scoring a bit less, so that we are not pushing you artificially to generate ideas. We don't need it. Then decide. This position scores, again, more. Why? Because this is, you will have to show how you decided, why you are doing this and why you are doing that. Decide. Then the prototype, of course. If you will be able to make a huge new network by the Saturday, we will be happy with this one. If you will be able to make some climate control device by Saturday evening, super, we will be very happy. But to be more realistic, we rather understand that by the Saturday evening, you will not have a huge prototypes. So from this point, this prototyping will be like as you have to show that you have seen, you have some thoughts and you have some discussions about the main blocks, how you are trying to do it. You have to think about the technologies inside, and you have to think about this magical word, IRL. It is investment readiness level. But to make it much more easier, you don't need to provide ready-made solutions. You have to just think about it. For example, if you are building up the prototype that has 2 or 3 parts, 1 part, and you can buy these parts in the shop. So these parts will definitely have the technology readiness level, the highest 9. But this combination, how you are going to combine it, at this moment they can share only some technology readiness level number 3. I will show what is the technology readiness levels. Don't worry about this one. You will, the next slide it will be. So you have to show that the parts that are coming in your solution, they have ready made and are available on the market. You are able to find them, or maybe you can find them during the desktop research in some research institutions or whatever. And then you have to assume what will be this technology readiness level of your product or your app or your service or whatever. Then about the investment readiness levels. That will be a separate talk in the next slides. And then the last position is your presentation. Just how you will present you. Is your presentation interesting? Is it covering all the points? And then the last point is how we will select the first, second, and third place. We will select first of all top 5 by the points, and then the judges will have a closed discussion, and from these top 5 we will select the winner, the second, and the third place. Who will be the judges? You will not know, but the judges will be around, they will be on site, they will be online, and you have to interact to each other, to speak, to present also during the hackathon what you are doing, how you are doing, and why you are doing it. So they will be also looking the progress when you started and what you can show on the Saturday evening. Now, technology readiness levels. Just to understand briefly what does it mean. You don't need to provide super deep descriptions why you think that this technology is this technology readiness level number 4 and that is number 8. No, just assume according to your knowledge and according to what you have done during your desktop research. Investment readiness levels. The same approach. Do it simple. Just think how you see it, how you expect it, and where you see that at this moment is your idea. And now here is some reference to the right side of the canvas, complete first pass, business model canvas. What does it mean? Pretty much you have example here, and it is also uploaded in the Discord, all this presentation, and you can see this business model canvas. We are not asking you to fill this canvas. Don't do this. It is not needed. Just think about it from your project, from your product, from your service, from your app, from your game position. Just how to monetize it, how to sell it, who will, because just think about it. There is some numbers written. These numbers are just showing the steps. First step, you have to think about the customer segments, and the second about the value proposition. If you think that for you it's much more easier to start working with the key partners, then you can start filling this business model canvas from the key partners. But from our experience, we just suggest maybe you have to start to follow this logical background. Maybe. But if you think that you have to do it different, you can do it different. You don't need to present this business model canvas to us. We don't need it. Just think about it. Okay. Do you understand something what I was telling? Definitely you don't understand. Oh, guys understand. Congratulations. So that I'm happy. So if you don't understand something, don't be shy. Go, speak to us, ask to us. We have a lot of experienced people here. A lot of experienced people. A lot of people with their businesses background. A lot of people with international business background. Just meet them and speak them. All of these people are also in the Discord. Who of them I are? You have to speak. You have to communicate. We will not show exactly Leonid is from here, Nicholas is from there. No, go and speak to them. Get introduced, speak to them, say who you are, and try also to get out what do they know, what you can offer to them, and what they can offer to you. Where is this synergy effect between both of you? Or maybe others. Don't give up. If something is more, you will have to take decision within the team. how you want to have this prize money. Are you going to have it all amount? In this case, who will be the person who will have this amount, all amount? That decision should be taken at the beginning of the team formation. Till 4 o'clock tonight, Latvian time, Eastern European time, you have to take this decision. Who from your team will be this decider in case you want to have this prize money in one volume. In case you are not able to agree it on it within the team, then automatically there will be the second option. So this prize money will be splitted between the team members. So if there is 5 persons in the team, then each will have 100 euros. If it is first place. If it is third place, then each will have 30 euros. If there is 2 people, then 250, for example, or 75 euros. How you will get this prize money? This prize money, it is again written in the methodology. The prize money you can get in 2 options. One is Google Wallet. You will have a code that you can later then reimburse it. Or you have App Store. Why is this option chosen? This option is chosen so if you want to deliver further your products, then you can use some of these Google tools or app tools for further app development or service development or whatever. So this will be up to you how to use it later. But this is the way how you will get this prize money. Till 4 o'clock in the evening, today, Latvian time, Eastern European time, you have to take the decision within the team. How you want to get the prize money, if you will get it. The second thing is that all these live recordings, all the master classes will be in this room. Then we have the second room. It's on the same floor. On the other side, we will just walk later and we will show. This will be a so-called quiet room for working, where you can sit, have a Teams, talk, do your work. And there is also TV in that room also, so that you can follow what is happening here during the master classes or inspiring speech. Third thing, drinks outside the room, water in the kitchen. Go, serve yourself, keep the rooms clean. Then at what times we are having to have the food break? At 2:30 you will have the food break, and then we will follow up the rest with our activities for today and tomorrow. The next thing is those ones who want to stay overnight, please inform us also till 4 o'clock so that we can prepare for your overnight stay. At the same time, it is not obligatory to stay all the night waken, because this is only the beginning of 3 months journey. But it's up to you. If you want, you can stay, we will be there, we will work with you. And tomorrow, we will see how the same, pretty much at what time we were going to have this idea presentation. Agnes, at what time we are going to have this pitch? At 1:30? After tomorrow, yeah? No, not today. Yeah, but when they are presenting these ideas? At 5, yeah. Okay, at 5 tomorrow o'clock, at 5 o'clock, you are going to provide your presentations. So, any questions? Some questions from the Discord? Yeah, we are giving a second. Just to ask to those who are going to participate about these ideas, also these predefined ideas that you are going to use. Pretty much you can also form the team not only from those who are on site, but you can also form the team from those who are also online, definitely. So this is not limiting. Is there some questions now? Okay, then I think we can proceed with the next presentation, with the next inspiring speech. And actually, this is a real business person, the real company, that is going to present their experience. At the same time, also they are also going to present what they are offering, maybe also what opportunities they have identified, what challenges what they have identified. So Vadim, please come in front so that I can introduce you. Happy to see you.
My pleasure as well.
I am passing you the most important stick. So that you
In
can-
this room, yes.
Exactly. And you have to inspire them.
I'm gonna do my best.
Super, thank you.
Let's wait for the presentation to start.
Yeah.
Then we can do it. So meanwhile, my name is Vadims. Yeah, that's mine. No. Yep. Yeah, it's working. So perfectly. I hope mic is working and all's good. So my name is Vadims and I'm the CEO of SIA Vozorom, and our main product currently is Car Monitor, and the Car Monitor is automated transport monitoring system allowing businesses and governments to manage their fleet, to identify the areas for the cost reductions. It is a GPS-based solution where we are installing the sensors in the vehicles, and then starting from there we are getting all the necessary data. Car Monitor is developed 2 or 3 years ago, was the MVP, and currently we are expanding further. So it was developed in a collaboration with the Latvian investment and development agency, and with Vidzeme University of Applied Sciences. And so basically how it works in a few words. So first of all, we are installing the sensor in a vehicle. It is GPS-based sensor who is also reading all the data from the CAN bus, from the car. Then we can see the engine, how it's working, the fuel levels, the engine load, the driver behavior, the location of the car, and lots of other data. Then from there, data is being transmitted to the server via GPRS currently, so mobile data. Yes, we are thinking about the NTN, but it's in the future. It's not ready yet solution. And we are using the global coverage SIM cards. So if the car travels out of some country to other country or region, the SIM card's still sending data. In case if there is some area where the network is not available, device stores the data inside itself and transmits it later on when the network is available. So all the data is being transmitted to our own servers, which are located in Latvia and Riga in the data center. And then starting from there, we are getting analytics done and everything else. So what kind of a data can we get? If we're talking about the engine, then there is, as I've mentioned before, RPM, temperature, idle, load, and much more. If about the location, then it's coordinates, routes, and other stuff. By the routes, it is online history. We can do route optimization as well. About the cargo status, if it's a temperature related delivery, then we can do temperature, we can do moisture, we can do light sensor, we can do tilt and shift as well if the cargo is being dropped or somehow impacted. And then driver behavior, driving patterns such as aggressive driving, excessive idling, aggressive cornering, and stuff like that. And of course, it leads us to the fuel usage and the fuel measurement as well. So, yeah, as I mentioned before, servers are located in EU in the certified data center. We have all the necessary, they have, not we, they have all the necessary ISO certificates, and we just have passed the security test by the university, so the data is private, the data is not available to third persons, and the data is divided as it should be. So most common challenges in the transport section by our study are those, and let's get to talk about every one of them. So what Car Monitor can do for you with the high operational costs, and the first one, of course, we can identify the areas for the fuel usage optimization. The next one is we can free up the resources, because sometimes drivers are doing their work not efficiently, and by improving the internal processes you can get a better result. And of course, this all leads for the improvement in the profit margins and internal economy, let's say like that. So in terms of safety concerns and the accidents, we can identify the driver behavior as I've mentioned before. This can lead to more accurate driving, and then by doing the predictive maintenance, we can identify the areas for the possible improvements in the internal mechanisms to maintain the vehicle before something happens and before something breaks down. With the cargo control, we can do, as I mentioned, all the necessary monitoring of the cargo itself, and then we can prove when it's been delivered, how it's been delivered, what was the route optimal, and stuff like that. With the transport maintenance, then yes, unexpected breakdowns and repairs, then we can of course extend the lifespan of the vehicle just by monitoring its maintenance and then do it on time. And then of course reducing the vehicle downtime and delivery time. This is very important in the logistic fields. If the vehicle breaks down, then your goods are not delivered on time, and then there might be some temperature related issues and stuff like that. With the driver behavior, then yes, we can reduce the risk of accidents and improve the road safety overall, because first of all you are getting the speeding data. If the driver is speeding more than he should, if he is driving too aggressively, then you can react accordingly to that. And of course, this all leads to the fuel efficiency and the fleet efficiency and productivity in total. Regarding emissions and pollutions, we can do automatic CO2 emission calculation for the transport units, and we can also provide the data for the possible reduction of the emissions what are made by the transports. So I'm offering a few case studies of the real life. So we have implemented it to the logistic companies, and then the basic average is about 12 to 15% fuel reduction, and 16% if in the efficiency. In the period there is mentioned 3 months, but basically it's this 3 to 6 months. The next one is for insurance companies. We've done implementation and showing that the drivers are improving their driver behavior, and then our first customer just got a 20% reduction on company's Casco vehicles, not the Octa vehicles, but the Casco vehicles. So I believe it is a very good result. The next one is for the heavy machinery fleet. It is construction equipment and stuff like that. So basically, we have just cut the unplanned repairs by 25% just by predictive maintenance and maintaining the vehicles when it should be, not somehow and sometimes, but on the moment and just before. With the food chain supply, this is just a beta, and we are just doing the first test of that one. So we are integrating the sensors on the transport who is transporting frozen goods and the cold goods. And we are already seeing that there is a huge potential for that field, because there are a lot of issues. Who knows and who is in the logistics sector, they know that sometimes the ice cream is not the ice cream anymore when it's get delivered to the customer, and the customers knows it as well. For the driver behavior and driver compliance with the company's working hours, so as we all know, sometimes there are issues with the drivers who are, let's say, telling that they are driving on the company needs and then starting the driving when they should, but basically sometimes it happens not like it should be. So it can be used for that as well. And for the unauthorized vehicle use also, you can, with the car monitor, you can know that the car is being used only for the company needs, not for the private needs, and not on the Saturdays, Sundays, evenings, mornings, and this longer trips to countryside. Regarding the safety, yes, this is also the pilot. I believe this is for the school buses. This is a pilot as well. I don't know why there is not written beta, but yeah. We are implementing sensors in the buses, and then we are giving the Bluetooth tags to the kids, who then we can know where the kid hop on and hop off from the bus. This is very important for the countries where there are school buses delivering kids to school. In Latvia, in Riga at least, it's maybe not so popular, but in other countries this is an issue. And we just had an information from the Dubai, the case unfortunately happened there. So the driver left the kid in the bus during summer heat, and nothing good happened there. Yes, so this can be used there as well. The next one is, yes, CO2 emission automatic tracking and calculation. This is also in beta, and I believe that next year is going to be a breakthrough there. We will be able to automatically calculate all the CO2 emissions transport related, and then identify the areas for the possible reduction also automatically. And of course, the suitable sectors is a very wide range, and we are trying to approach all of them, and to do at least pilots with all of them. So yeah, user experience and integrations, we can offer everything available in just a few clicks. So the user experience is done that you don't need to train stuff heavily. You can get any result you wish in just a few clicks, and then start from there. We can do lots of integrations by the API or other stuff, and yeah, we have real-time notifications as well. So basically that's it. The QR code you can scan, and you can get all the full presentation of what we do and how we do that. There is much more information with the screenshots and stuff like that, and I believe it's going to be available online as well. So if you have any questions, you can contact me directly, and I will be here today and tomorrow. Thanks. Tu nāks atpakaļ?
He is asking, am I coming back? I said, why not to coming back? I like to be in the front. So, thank you, Vadims, for this inspiring speech. And now you are, probably all of you are thinking why he's speaking about the logistics, but you have to wait it. Then we are inviting Niklaus with his experience. And actually, this guy is a very interesting guy. He's originating from the game devs. Of course, I'm selling you. That's my job. But pretty much, I think you will sell it yourself.
Yeah. Let's go for it. You have been sold yesterday. Yeah. I'm getting new people on my sales team all the time, you know. Yeah. So that's my presentation. It's black. Yeah. It's abstract. So I have a remote as well. Right?
It's a black box.
That's not mine. Nope. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's the one, the black one.
Yeah. I call it the square. There you go. That's the one. I hope this works, because this is like. Oh, it does. There you go. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm Nick. So a little background about me. I come from kind of corporate IT. Then I kind of decided during COVID to kind of switch to doing my own business. I went into the video games, and now I'm doing loyalty programs. So I kind of take some of the inspiration from the video game sector, and I kind of try to apply it to loyalty programs. And today's presentation is about kind of making loyalty programs fun. And one of the prerequisites of that is to have a kind of a digital component for your loyalty program. It's very hard to make a fun loyalty program that's physical. With plastic cards, no one likes plastic cards, so it's very hard. If we can do some gymnastics, like who is a member of any kind of loyalty program here? Okay, yeah, good. Who uses some sort of an app for their loyalty program, like a Rimi app or so? Almost everyone who is a part of a loyalty program is using a digital solution these days. Yeah. So we're going to split this presentation into three parts. I'm going to tell a bit of a story about how businesses are building loyalty programs right now, and why they even bother. We're going to see what we're trying to change with that, because spoilers, but there's a lot of just physical loyalty programs right now. It's very hard to go digital. And then we're going to look at specific gamification examples to see how we can make loyalty actually fun. To start off, right now, so why would you want a loyalty program, right? As a business, you want these loyal customers. It's kind of in the name. So you want loyal customers because if a business B shows up, and they have lower prices, you want to know that you're going to be kind of insured, that you can, you have time to adapt. You're not going to go broke immediately. Then secondly, repeat customers, which is important because if you like spreadsheets, you want to know that going month to month, you're going to have this base of repeat customers that are going to be making you money. You don't have to worry about, sudden drops in the market. And finally, when you kind of get bigger, you start super analyzing things. You go like, okay, what are the customers' habits? How can I improve their experience to extract some more money out of them, basically? So the how are businesses building these loyalty programs now? So the most basic level is the one you've probably seen in like coffee shops or hairdressers, where they have these like little cardboard cards where they do stamps. And that's like the basic level of gamification you can do. It's engaging, it's fun. The main issue is we've talked to like these businesses who have these physical stamp cards, and we ask them, how do you know if it's working? How do you know if it's actually making you money? And they go, actually, we don't. We just hope for the best. We print them out because, they don't have an alternative. They are small. They can't afford, the bigger stuff. So when you move up a little bit, you get into the kind of the old reliable, which is the plastic card. So the plastic card, that's a fun one. You put it in your wallet. You forget about it. You use it like, if it's a popular place, you use it like maybe once every day or once every 1 year. I had a bunch of these cards. I used only once a year. But the good thing is you can start kind of tracking. You can start seeing what your customers are doing. You can start like seeing what they're buying, basically. That's where it gets interesting. But then when you get bigger, you realize, I need something more. I need the digital part. And that's the say it with me, which is, you want the digital loyalty card app plus like web integration, which is, a terrible thing to try to sell people because they look at it and they go like, why are you even trying to offer me at this point? It's very complicated, and I hope it doesn't have to be in the future. But for the customers, like as we saw today, they want this like digital presence because there's this like group of people who are completely cardless. Like they don't even have a wallet with them. They just go, and you have to cater to those people because, otherwise you're just gonna be left in the dust at the end of it. But for the business, it's kind of like I'm suffering from success because when I open this kind of forums of going digital, I now need like, do I need GDPR? Do I need email campaigns? It gets very complicated very fast. So the ultimate cost for the business is that there's the first one, which is the developers, right? Developers, designers, which is almost the easiest part, right? Because if I have a big bag of cash, I just show up and say like, these are the requirements. Build me a digital loyalty program. But where it gets really complicated is for the business, is the business cost of things. So you need to decide what are your requirements. So how are you going to build this loyalty program? And you get stuck in these infinite meetings because no one's built this loyalty program before at the business, so they don't actually know how to do it. And then you get to the requirements and basically repeat the process of like going in a loop of like changing the requirements and changing things. So the ultimate cost for the time cost, which is the business kind of knows, like they know if they start making this loyalty program, it's going to be so much time, so I might as well just open a new restaurant chain, or I might do just like Google ads instead of wasting my time with this. So obviously for the small business, they are not even in the running. Like they can't afford the big bag of cash, like they don't have it. So for them, it's even if they could, they're like, do I even want this? It seems like a huge pain, basically. So a lot of times when we speak to businesses, we ask them, do you need loyal customers? Do you think they're important? And they go, well, yes, they're the backbone of this business, actually. We couldn't function without loyal customers. And we ask them if they have a loyalty program, and they go, no. Like, I can't really fault them for it. So what we're trying to change in this, we're developing Glee, which is a loyalty program builder, basically. And what we're doing is we're trying to make this experience of actually building a loyalty program kind of simple. I like to compare us to Squarespace or Wix, if you've heard of that, which is, these are website builders. And it used to be, back in the day, if you wanted a website, you basically had to go to like a freelancer or an agency. You couldn't make a website otherwise. And you had to have this know-how. And now with Squarespace, you just, as a business, you just go and you do a few blocks, or they have these AI builders, and you just get a website out of it. So we want to be similar. We want to have a this presence where you can just go, you just type in, I have a cake business, for example, and it spits out the loyalty program for you, like on a digital side. So you have an app now, you have maybe some web integration that's ready made for you, and we tell you, we have the data, we know, what loyalty programs works best for you. Obviously, you can change things, so drag and drop. If you decide you need tiers now, you can drag those in. And this is finally, you've completed your journey of being digital, so you can kind of start gamifying things now. So for gamification, I think everyone kind of thinks of these campaigns. So in Latvia, we have this Circle K one where you do like scratch-offs, they're fun. A lot of people enjoy them. They get shared a lot. The problem is, if you do this, the business knows, like, first of all, the business cost is very high because you have to have rewards. You have to build this thing. Plus, if you run it all year round, it's gonna get boring. People are gonna get tired of it. So we like to start smaller. We like to do these kind of like going back to the stamp card example. You can do digital stamp cards basically. And what you could do if you're browsing like an app, that a business has made, and they have like this store, and you see this campaign where it's like, if you do 5 orders this month, we're gonna give you a reward. And you go like, okay, that sounds fun. I click on it, I favorite it, and it's in my home screen now. And now, where it gets fun, because the business, you are on the business app, so they can send push notifications reminding you about, hey, it's the end of the month, and you haven't made that 5th order. So the customer looks at it and they go, well, actually, I wasn't gonna make that 5th order, but now that you tell me, I want the reward, so I'm gonna do it. So the business kind of, it's beneficial for the business, but it's also engaging for the customer because they can kind of see, they can track it. They don't just put it in their wallet and forget about it. What you can also do is points. So you see this a lot already. You have, for example, Rimi does like Rimi cashback, and they, some other businesses do like coupons for client referrals, which becomes very transactional. So instead of like making it feel like kind of a game, you're making it feel like basically work. When I see a €5 coupon for referring a friend, I'm thinking, well, first of all, I make more an hour basically, and you're also asking me to bother my friends for €5. I'm like, that's not fun. I don't want to do that. But if it's, let's think about mobile games here. In mobile games, you have this gold, right? Or 5 different currencies usually, but let's stick with gold. So imagine you have loyalty gold. Now, if you say like, I'm gonna give you 5,000 loyalty points, as long as it's backed by good rewards, I go, well, it's not, you're not asking me to do work. It's like, it kind of becomes fun. You remove this like financial aspect from it. And it's like, I want some cool rewards for those 5,000 loyalty points. Then you can start doing more interesting things. Again, going back to the mobile game example, oftentimes you will see these pop-ups asking for reviews, because a lot of people don't leave reviews, unfortunately. So what you could do is offer loyalty points for these reviews. So, if you like the product, please review us. We're gonna give you some loyalty. Plus, you can get very abstracted with it, where you could say, like, if I'm a green business, why not, if you go clean up a place, and if you take a picture of it and put it on Instagram and tag us in it, we're gonna give you some points as well. And it becomes like this game. I'm gonna go clean up a place, and you spread your brand awareness. I'm this green business. I'm helping clean up, Riga or wherever, right? So getting back more into campaigns, this is one we did for kind of a bar, but you could apply this for kind of anything really, like sandwiches or soda pops. But this one is specifically on the app. You can kind of see this competition going on every month with rewards. And the idea here is basically whoever drinks the most, eats the most, they kind of they get a point for every time. So you make this cohort of very loyal customers, basically, because they're loyal enough to actually start competing in this. But then they kind of like over the month they kind of start figuring it out that they can't actually go anywhere else because they're participating in this competition. It's like, I could go somewhere else this evening actually, but I mean, I really want to be in the first place, And you could do teams, and you could do, it could get really fun. Obviously, this isn't going to work for every business, but if you have a good, cozy place with good vibes, why not? Give it a try. So this was for a cinema, and the idea here, again, taking inspiration from video games, is we wanted to kind of personify the movie-going experience. So this is kind of like each moviegoer gets their little monster on their phone, basically. And with this, basically, the movies you see impact how your character is going to look. So let's say you go to a bunch of horror movies. Well, you're going to have these devil horns. Or if you go to romance films, you're gonna get these angel wings. Where it gets really fun is if you see different kinds of movies, you get different kinds of features, so they start combining. So you can start printing out shirts, for example, or you could get really fun with it, and you could open a store, and you could start selling like little hats, or do marketing campaigns where you can win, little hats for your creature. But then, where it gets maybe less fun, is there's this concept of video games. There used to be these video games where you had to feed your little creature. So what happens if you don't go to the cinema? Well, the creature, he eats movies, and he gets sick, and he might die. So you should go see the next Mission Impossible, basically, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, and you know what happens. So I hope that was, that was interesting. Kind of the loyalty program guy now. So if you need some help with some programming or loyalty or what have you, or gamification, yeah, hit me up. I'm going to be here. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, why you are not asking questions? You have to ask the questions. Niklaus, come in front if you have questions.
Yeah, we can if we have questions. Yeah, for sure.
I'm very curious.
Yeah.
I like your methodical approach, and you said you wanted to be like the Wix and the
Yeah.
and the kind of like a turnkey solution for businesses. What did you think about when it came to competitive advantages over the competitors to local businesses or regional businesses? Like, what if Pepsi and Coke want
Yeah,
to use
yeah.
your product? Very similar businesses. How do you
Right,
diversify the product you're providing?
Yeah.
to make it a competitive advantage over
So for us, what our strategy was going to be was approaching these. So what we wanted to target small and medium businesses, because what our tooling was, our idea was that you open up this opportunity that never existed for these small and medium businesses to actually digitalize. Like, they don't have any option of that right now. So the idea was the market is going to correct itself. If all these companies start building their own loyalty programs, at some point, they will start competing in this sector, basically, naturally. If you go like bigger ones, yeah, Pepsi, Coke, obviously they go for the white label. So right now we're kind of actually doing more white label stuff, than this is still kind of like in progress, right? So we understood that, yeah, obviously if you have Pepsi and Coke, you're going to have this conflict of interest a bit. But if you do smaller businesses, they will basically compete against themselves, and it's going to kind of correct itself in the end.
Maybe the Pepsi and Coke was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
example, but I think in smaller towns, don't you think that competitive advantage would be more necessary?
It also depends very much on how the business sets up their loyalty program, because you can even with all the tools we give, right, you can still do a bad loyalty program. So it's up to the business to make a better loyalty program than their competitor. You're basically, a lot of businesses already have them. Like, if you go by statistics, most businesses have a loyalty program of some kind. So it's already happening. It's just not digital, basically. So it's up to them, basically, to make the best loyalty program they can for their customers.
And do you have integrations? Is this a functional app already?
Yeah. But we went more for white label right now. So we decided to kind of put a pause bit on the kind of the public aspect of it, where everyone can just hop in and make their own loyalty program.
And you have integrations today to like point of sale systems?
We're working on point of sale, yeah, but right now it's mostly like QR based. So for every transaction you do a QR code. Obviously not ideal, but we are doing point of sale just actually right now. So yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah. So how do you, let's kind of give an example. So my most loyalty cards are for coffee shops. And
Yeah.
I'm traveling all the world, so I have probably 40 different cards,
Right.
loyalty cards for coffee shops.
Yeah.
And they all work the same. You have to get stamps and so many
Yeah.
stamps to get a coffee. But do coffee shops need more?
Well,
Do coffee shops need you?
I think so. I really hope so, actually. But no. But see, the problem is, like, you have all of these cards, right?
Yeah.
And I had them at the start of the year. But at the start of the year, I went through my wallet. I realized, like, there's loyalty programs that I don't use. There's loyalty programs I use once a year. I have all these cards in my wallet. So my wallet actually shrunk by like 2/3. It's like now I have like 2 cards
Did
in
you
my.
convert them all into your customer?
most of them, actually, most of them got dropped, and that's like that's the rub, isn't it? Where you need this digital presence, like because people like me, and I think people on that side of the room, they're not gonna have these 40 cards anymore. They're just gonna refuse, and so basically you're.
Are you comparing the young side of the room with the old guys?
I'm also the German side. Sorry, the German side as well, because.
I like it.
But Germans will never go digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is just due to data protection rules, you know.
But
Yeah.
in favor of Nick, if I may jump on your side,
Yeah.
I think he absolutely is required because I would not have those 40 cards with me. I would always travel and be in a new place, and that's what happens to me literally. And I'm in the new place, oh yeah, you guys have this, I'll forget about it. So I don't join the loyalty
Yeah,
program. With your app, I would because it's already on my phone anyway.
Yeah.
And then it takes me half a year to go back to Riga, and then I can show my card again because I have it with me.
Yeah.
automatically.
But will you not, I mean, we will have a transition, and maybe if you are first, you will be able to do that. But I have actually several apps also for coffee shops.
Yeah.
Competing apps. So, and yeah, I don't know, 500 apps I have.
Right. Yeah. So.
Because every chat program, everything is a different app. And
So I get that. So our idea was for the we would do white label for the big businesses, but for the small ones, we would have this like unified GUI app where you basically have like it was kind of like if someone remembers MySpace, where you could customize your page. You know, you could basically as a business you could customize your page, and we would just basically compile you in this. So you go into a location, there's a QR code, and you have your GUI app with you, and you scan it. And now you're a member of this loyalty program. So it becomes like, instead of like going to Rimi or Maximin, it's this like big form you have to fill out. So you just scan it and you're converting, like the conversion also becomes so much easier.
I mean, it's kind of funny because I think Google Wallet tried to do that in the US and they failed. So Google wasn't able to create a unified loyalty program.
It depends on how they did it.
Will you be able
Yeah, no, because well, think about it.
Smarter than Google, definitely.
I'm smarter than Google, yeah. But also for them, it's like it's not like this is a new thing as well. We do have competition. Most of it's aimed at white label though, right? Because you are right. It is a bit difficult getting, especially the small business on board, because as I said in the presentation, they're fighting so many fires at once. They're like, we spoke to so many businesses. They go like, yeah, we really need a loyalty program, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna set it up for you, but I don't have the time for that. You know, I'm so busy with like running my store, right? So it is this challenge of getting people on board. It's a lot easier, actually, almost a lot easier to get big businesses on board because they kind of like they have the money and they have the time a lot of the time anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, but we have to maybe also think a bit out of the box. We are now speaking about the loyalty program, but maybe this is a program or solution how to involve more in this business the returning customers by informing them, by offering them. For example, the people are traveling to, I don't know, to Canaries or whatever to have to have some rest or have some fun. And then before that, the normal business owner can start 1 month or 2 months. This loyalty customers informed that after 1 month there will be such activity. And if you are in that time in the Canaries or whatever, you can join this activity. This will be also loyalty.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to
We
be.
are looking on different points.
It doesn't have to be just gamification. Like you are gonna integrate this into your like news that you share, and because a lot of businesses like what they do now, they go on like social media and they share on Instagram, and they're doing like pictures of coupons that you could do. Whereas it would be far better if you were on the customer's phone because you can send push notifications, then you can do a lot of stuff you couldn't before. Like here's an example. I hope I'm not taking too long with this.
Okay.
But one idea we had was, for example, as a bar on a Friday night, there could be any number of reasons. Like you might be a popular place, but imagine if no one shows up that evening. Like you're losing so much money. Like that can just happen. Like for some reason, I go on the old town and I see some bars which are relatively popular, which actually don't have any people. And if you see that they don't have any people, you're not going to go in. So now what you could do if you're on this customer's phone, you can go, oh no, I need to get these customers in because it's Friday and I'm gonna go broke if I don't. So I send them like everyone gets a notification saying like, oh, there's gonna be free beer or there's gonna be like 3-for-1 deal, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, I need to rush to this bar now. So that was one of the kind of ideas we played around with. So yeah, go on.
But let's say, for example, let's take the same bars. Let's say I'm a
You're a big bar guy.
Let's say that.
Let's say that. Let's go.
Like all of the bars have loyalty programs
Yeah.
in the one app. Wouldn't it get like too crowded? Like every Friday I would get like 10, 20 notifications from all of the bars. All come today.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
Yeah. So obviously we would. Our idea was, don't tell them, but we would get them on board with this idea. But you would either have to pay for these notifications, or you would have to basically. We would combine a lot of notifications in one notification. So we would send like maybe one a day, at max, where we compile all the people wanting to get on this. Because as you said, yeah, if we have one app, if you're getting constantly spammed, you're just gonna turn it off. It's not gonna be useful for anyone. So we would, plus, we would also inform the business that you have to be very careful with this. Like, use this as basically an emergency. We make it expensive. That's gonna be one of the points of it.
As an idea, you could also invite the users to prioritize kind of their most wanted places to go to.
Yeah.
And they would only get notifications from them, right? So they could kind of block or decide on where they want to get more information or not.
Yeah. So that was one of the things we considered as well, where you could. One thing you have to be very careful though is a lot of people will just panic and they will turn off all notifications, right? So we definitely want to avoid that. But yeah, that's a good idea. But that's something we also talked about.
So within the apps, like general allowed, and then within the
Yeah,
app, just
yeah.
look.
Yeah.
Number 1 is number 2 are my favorites, and the rest I don't care.
Yeah. So I'm loyal, but I'm not that loyal. Basically, is what you're saying. Yeah. So there you go.
But can it be also location based?
Yeah. That's what. Actually, we're talking to an Estonian firm right now, and they have a lot of ideas. And one of their ideas was we could get like the the city on board, basically, of like city of Riga. They have a bunch of places which they partner with already for tourism. So we could say like this is the Riga app, and on the Riga app you have all of these locations that are pre-vetted by the city, and they're like, okay, these are the safe places for you to visit. Because for tourists, a lot of the time you show up in a new place and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get scammed there, I'm gonna get scammed there. But if I have this like app that changes depending on location, you can also say like these are the actual good places to visit in a town. So.
I think there was something called TripAdvisor at one point, but nobody uses it.
Well, that's another thing because people don't leave reviews on TripAdvisor anymore. So that was like one of the pain points we found out with businesses basically.
But actually, I am using still TripAdvisor.
Yeah, you are old like me.
Yeah.
Can you switch there?
But sometimes when you are in the new place, in the new city, you don't know anything there, yeah? What you are looking for? You are looking at the same TripAdvisor, then you are looking on the Google feedbacks. That's it. What else? Maybe then friends. Have you been there? No, I haven't been there.
No,
I
you-
don't know
I
where
think
to
Google
go.
took slightly over, and
It goes usually.
what is the other thing? No, Instagram is actually where you should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is also. It's for two young people. It depends. It's like a Facebook now. It's a news portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions? Do we have some questions from Discord? Or discussions?
Discord is quiet.
They're still taking it in.
The young
I
people
get it.
are
They
still
are listening.
sleeping.
They
Yeah.
are listening.
I hope so.
There are people.
I hope so. I hope they're having fun.
Surprises there. I'm not asking the
Yeah.
questions.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, now the first two inspiring speech have finished. Now we have the third. Who will be the third speaker? Alex, maybe you can come in front and say some words about you.
Sure, thank you. Also, to join the coffee discussion, I like that as soon as the word coffee appeared in this room, like everybody started to move something and to listen. And yeah, it's true, it's like actually amazing idea, and to comment also on all of these plastic cards or like carbon cards, it's true. It would be amazing to have it in the app, and especially my team would appreciate it. My name is Alex, Stelbe Technologies. And this would help as well. And I would like to start with some questioning before we go further. And the first question, what I would like to ask you, is no need to answer so far, just keep it in your mind. Try to understand what first associates with this picture when you see it. What kind of business, let's say, you imagine, what kind of people who works there you imagine, and try to remember the first thing that came to your mind. The second one is this one. So try to imagine and to imagine the person who works with this, let's say, device or dinosaur. Try to keep it in your mind. We'll get back to it a little bit later. And the second question, no worries, there will not be like 50 questions, just 2 of them. The second one is, does any of you knows what's this? Yeah. Nice, nice. So probably you'll understand what I'll be speaking later. Also, some people knows the same as this one, so probably this is more, some of you more familiar with the second one. I will get back to this a little bit later, but actually I will proceed with what question. So let's say always when I'm in the conferences like this and when I'm participant or just to listen, I have the question like, what am I trying to understand? Why am I here? And what the person who is presenting is trying to tell me. So basically, what am I focusing on? From my side, to answer to you to this question, there are 2 things. The first one is that we have team expansion in Stelba Technologies, and also the need of IT people in Baltics, as it is in general, and the problem that we are having right now. And I will speak about it a bit more. Why? Because this is the number. 47 is the number of freelancers that we have worked this year, only this year. As you can imagine, and as you can understand, only with 3 of them we will get in touch for the second or for the third time. So all the rest, we had some projects, some of them were not even completed, and only with 3 of them we will try to work once again. This not only freelancers that we have in the Baltic region, it's also Fiverr and Upwork, but that's the statistics that we have so far. So what does it mean is the reputation that you as like future IT people and current IT people and in general people that you are, is the reputation and why it's important and how to obtain it and how to build it. So basically, what does it mean in the IT world, reputation? Because the word itself it's fancy, but what is it exactly? So from our side, we believe that the reputation has 3 aspects. The deadlines, so obviously it's pretty clear that if you promise to deliver within 2 weeks, you're expected to deliver with 4 weeks, as we work in IT and we all know, but ideally this year. But jokes aside, obviously it's better to respect deadlines. The second one is the proper documentation. So basically this is the, how to say, one of the things that
promise proper documentation, you can never deliver, yes.
It's okay, it's something already delivered, because like, you know, sometimes sometimes it's just like documentation will be, and like there is like A4 with like letter documentation. But no, to be serious about it, it's the thing that defines the, let's say, good IT, and the IT that we work and the corporations I worked before is the ability to make a documentation. So like a brand new person, like completely fresh, can work, can go through the papers and understand how is it working and what's this. And the third one is not disappear. So it's the pain that we have when you work with the freelancer, because you can have amazing guy who will do like everything amazing on time with the proper documentation. Then you have some kind of question, or you would like to engage this person once again, and the person is not existing. And this is actually pretty popular problem with lots of young freelancers. By young, I mean not the age, but the time spent in this area, that people try to start so they can make fancy advertising of themselves, some promotions in Fiverr, Upwork, whatever. So they receive lots of orders and they disappear. And then like you think that you, from 50 different, let's say, projects that you sign up for, you select the one which is like with the biggest cash flow or something, your own criteria, and then you focus on it. But in reality, these 49 else that you declined or that you forgot about or you just abandoned, it will pay back later. So basically, you will not have your reputation and you will lose a lot about it. So this for all the people who are watching this or in this room who are like freelancers. So this is the case that we have, and I encourage you to be in these 3 persons, not 47 else that unfortunately will not contact once again. So the next question is who. So basically, who am I? Who am I to tell you? So I make the easy slide about this. So I started in the waste management. It was project between Poland, Latvia, and Czech Republic. Then I moved to executive search, then the retail, so Decathlon. So when I say that I work in the corporation, I know what I'm speaking about, with all the how to say background stories in the corporations, and basically the problems are pretty similar. And the third one is my own company, which is STARRISE Technologies, which you can see on the right bottom corner. So basically, I believe that I have the understanding of how many companies works, the problems that these companies have, including small businesses, medium business, and large businesses. As of right now, STARRISE Technologies operates mostly in, I'd say, 3 regions that you can see here. So it's America, Netherlands, and the Baltics. The best area for us is USA so far, the most business we got from the USA. And a while ago, when I was opening the company, I was thinking like, what can I use as my, let's say, advantage to offer to my clients and to be, let's say, different on the market. So basically I understood that I know a big group of people, both from different my ex-employers and different companies and different conferences. And when I make a list of people and try to analyze where they work, I received a big list of the companies that you can see on the right, and the list is even bigger. And actually, this is one of the things and one of know-how that we are using in our company, that we have a list of experts. Some of them are my friends, some of them are the people we work, some of them are our ex-colleagues who move from one company to another. And at the events like this, you have amazing opportunity to get to know more people, because you never know, maybe one of us will work in Apple or Google or Amazon or Facebook, whatever. And basically that happens to me, that I realized that almost in all big company, I have some kind of people that I know, and that we either share the coffee or sit at the same table at the office or something like this. And you can use it as your advantage as well. So this is one more idea and one more piece of advice as an inspiration talk for all the participants. The next one, when it comes to inspiration, it's like the classical example what they show you. Like, you know, there is the success road and the failure road, and a lot of people consider that to achieve the success you have to, let's say, invest more, and it's not as easy as it seems. But in reality, it's not always like this. In reality, it's pretty easy to achieve the success, but I will give you examples. It's sometimes easy and quickly to get the access. For example, you develop the app, it becomes like really popular, and like within half a year you have the money, you have the big team, you have everything. But then you have to be extremely careful, because sometimes this success can close your eyes on a lot of difficulties and a lot of problems that you can face later. To give the example from my personal experience, when you work with the USA as a European company, so the volumes are completely different, so the speed is completely different, and it seems like kind of that you are coming towards your dream and towards your success. But then, if you have a court case in the US if you are a European company and you have a court case against your client in the USA, to start the court case is this amount of money, and it's already, let's say, one of the things that we learned from past. Some of you may ask, like, but what about contract insurance, which we do in business? So for those that don't know, that when you have a contract, you can go to the insurance in case your client don't pay you or something like this, you can insurance it. So in the Baltic, it's not possible to find insurance for your contract if you work with USA. So it's like almost impossible. Or you will pay to your insurance agent the same amount of money that you pay that you receive from your client. So basically, in reality, we were looking for the insurance brokers, and the best opportunity and the most, let's say, adequate price is if when you work with the company based in Portugal, which will make the insurance for your contract. So it's total mess, and easier to become, and what we did, a taxpayer in the US. So what I'm trying to sell, not sell, but to tell you, is that when you get to the success, and sometimes it could be quick, and I wish to all of you to have this road, the closer you are to success, the more you need to pay attention to the details and to think about some threats that you can have. Another example from my personal life. This is the first project I ever built. So this is like the very, very, very first one. It was the game made in the Unity just to understand how the publication in App Store and Google Play works. So it was like easy, easy, easy. So basically, I was happy as it's like a hello world application for myself. And I was surprised that only 29 days later, the first copy paste appeared. So basically, I did to be precise, I did an application entirely in Swift for App Store. Less than 30 days later, I see the copy paste in the Google Play developed by some unknown developer who just like kind of selling the same product. We faced it already several times more because we developed the products in App Store. And basically, this is the thing that you have to expect this problem. Because when you publicate your app, it's a matter of time when there will be a copy paste, and the same for whatever you do. And I have heard a lot of stories when people are afraid to share their idea. So sometimes, especially during the hackathons or something like this, you have amazing idea, but you're afraid to share it. You have to understand the difference here. And I'll try to explain more about it. So sometimes there are lots and lots and lots of good ideas, and investors are ready to invest in these ideas. So the problem that you are here, you have to balance between not sharing the good idea that you have, and later on when you developed your product, the copy paste that you'll have. So as you can imagine, as you can see, I need a coffee, and I would appreciate if I have this up to have the coffee before the presentation. It will be a little bit easier. So to come back to the questions that we have previously, and this is another case study that we have. Absolutely, yeah. I think not only the coffee, but the Monster Energy and the Red Bull and everything. So especially when you work with the USA during the night, you can see the after effect for this. So yeah, and apologize for all of this. Yeah. So to get back to the questions that we had previously, as a reminder, I asked you the associations that you have when you see a picture like this. And the second one was the AS400 and IBM AS400, which is pretty much the same. So basically, the interface of the AS400 looks like this. It's still like this. For those who don't know, unfortunately, our designer was on the sick leave, so I had to improvise. So I asked ChatGPT to explain what's the AS400. Basically, this is the software which is used in the banking, in the manufacturing, in the retail, in the healthcare, logistics, insurance, government, like mostly everywhere. And I can bet that any of you somehow is connected with the AS400 because you either have the product from AS400 or the service you received was done there. Once again, the interface looks like this. The system was developed, let's say, around already 50 years ago. So this is the huge giant that we have on the market. And it's really, really complicated to change something because lots of things already are built on this system. So to those who, let's say, considering what to do in their life, what to start with, I encourage you to read more about this AS400 to understand the problem on the market that we have, and you understand, let's say, where you can focus your attention. But to come back to the laptops and the office that I showed you previously, another thing to share my own experience, half a year ago we had a potential client who was working with the wood production, and it was one of the biggest clients in the area. And when we came to the office, the laptop, not the laptop, but the PC was on the second picture. And straight away I had a question like, what digitalization are we going to speak here when the person works like this? We proceed with our discussion, and the person told me like, I don't really read the emails. Basically, I have a secretary. She comes before me. She prints out all the letters. She put it on my table, and I write the response with the pen. Then I sign, and she, let's say, prepares it in a sense to the recipients. At that moment, I was surprised, honestly surprised, because like me coming from IT to the person coming like this, and I was not understanding how it's possible to work like this. And I did a mistake that internally I was judging, let's say, such skill. But later, after half a year, I realized that it was my mistake to judge, and I realized that human is always bigger than the instrument. And it's not a matter what instruments you are using, but what's your reputation, what you are as a person, what your skills are. And the instruments that you are using, whether it's the PC or dinosaur or something else, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, it helps you. And if you're traveling, so you mentioned the Instagram or TripAdvisor, actually ChatGPT also another trend that you like ask ChatGPT to plan your trip. But at the end of the day,
I have not done it yet.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. It will be much easier from now on. So basically, you haven't tried, but I encourage you to try. But it's actually, I have heard that a lot of people ask the ChatGPT to plan the vacation, and ChatGPT helps them. But at the end of the day, it's you, as the human, who will enjoy your vacation, neither than the instrument. So the reputation. And we expand. What we offer and the product that I would like also to present is the upline application. So our problem, our situation, that we delivered it for the iOS only. We did the proof of concept, but the application itself is about the calorie monitoring. The problem that we have right now is that there are lots of app that tracks the calories that you intake and the calories that you burn during the day. But most of the application requires second degree or like university education to understand how to work with this application. Or you have to enter the amount of food you prepared, how many grams you added, what's oil you used, and it's really, really complicated to fill all this data. So basically, we try to aim for something easy when you can make a picture and you get back the result, what you're having there, and average amount of calories. We used AI there. This is the logo. This is how app looks in general. So the focus group was satisfied. Everything was good. The only problem that we have is that it's difficult to scale it when you have it only for the App Store. And our idea and our problem was that we have to scale it and we have to move somewhere that we can sell it not only in the iOS market but on the Google Play as well. This is the business model we have there. This is advertising, pretty similar. So you see the ads between the intakes and between you register the meals. Basically, right now it's developed in the iOS. We are looking for the team who will develop it in the Flutter. And then we proceed with the marketing, with the investment there, etc., etc., etc. But so far we paused the project, and we are waiting to redevelopment and redoing from the scratch for the Flutter, so we can publicate in two places simultaneously. This is the percent that I will discuss with the team who will be ready to help us with this. And basically, the last but not the least, what I would like to share with you, I hope that lots of you know what's this, or like saw this, or understand what's this. For those who doesn't know, it's the platform for the IT people to exchange the questions, the problems, etc., etc. And recently I saw a Twitter post that unfortunately the population of Stack Overflow is decreasing, the same as number of questions, etc. This is from the Twitter, or currently X. I haven't personally checked this picture, but I believe it could be true, thanks to ChatGPT and other platforms. And I would like to say that I'm here with you. I'm here to help you. I'm trying to support the culture that we have in the Stack Overflow, that IT people try to help each other and help with the coffee, bringing the coffee, or like some advices or good ideas or experience. So I'm here. Feel free to contact me. I will be happy to help you. And thank you for the presentation, and big, big, big thank you for the coffee.
Alex, you are very good at marketing. I'm trying to be. So can I ask you please to swing
Sure.
back this slide where you have these consultants?
Consultants, which one?
Yes, where with logos.
Yeah,
Expert
sure.
list. Yes, this one.
Yes.
I have a question. When we will find the Latvian Technological Center in this list?
Really good question. Thank you. I guess I can consider that we did something together. So basically, we can discuss it as well. Sure. Why not? We are happy to extend the list. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions from the Discord, from the audience, or yes, please.
don't totally understand what your company is doing. So, are you a software development company or consulting company or yeah? Okay.
You know, you know.
What are you offering?
Clear question. Yeah, it's like I presented everything during the presentation except what we are doing. Yeah, basically.
Good marketing.
Yeah, but you see, I encourage you to ask the question.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, we do the software development. It's to answer your question in 2 words.
I'm also confused because we had some pre-talking, so I'm trying to reflect our discussion.
We do the software development. Basically, when you say that you do the software development for everyone, it means that you do software development for no one. We have a list of the areas that we have had experience so far. Exactly. I give several examples, let's say, what we have done so far, just to explain how do we work. The first one is logistics. So, for example, we had a client who had a problem with the internal communication, with communication was done in the WhatsApp, 52 WhatsApp chats, calls, SMS, email, etc., etc. Lots of problems, lots of internal difficulties. For example, when the car drives through the border, they have this documentation that they have to prepare, and it was done in the written form. So basically, like lots of internal problems. We were the company to get in touch with this logistics company to analyze how they work, to define the problem, to find a way how can we solve this problem with the software, and eventually we developed the app for the drivers and for the mechanics and let's say PC version for the administration to monitor all of this. So basically we transferred the company from the paper form to the digital form. Another example, not so you have the idea that we only develop the apps, it was production company. So basically it was the company, it was the fabric, and they had the problem of discrepancies. So they received the material, they produced the final product, and they observed the problem that lots of, let's say, materials is missing, and they produced less than they were expecting. So we were the company who got to this fabric, installs the cameras, installs these small monitors on the machinery that they were using, prepare the analytics for them, etc., etc., etc. So then we provide them with the full transparency of the production cycle of the products. So basically, we are not limited with the app. We can develop the software, and that's actually what we do. So it's custom software development in 3 words. If you need more explanation, it's not 3 words, it's 30 minutes, but I'm open to explain as well.
Yeah, but so what is your specialty? So you're really good in doing the requirements analytics. You're really good in kind of upgrading some legacy systems. So because there's so many, especially here in the Baltics, there are so many and it's a good thing to become a software development company. I think there's a easy value proposition. The problem is just you never will have enough people to work for you, as you mentioned that one problem. But so the people that are locally here, you seem to be not the main executing developers. You seem to be more analysts. Is that a main skill?
No, we develop everything from the scratch. Also with our team, and we work with the freelancers. We do some body leasings. So basically, how we work is that before I go, for example, to a logistics company, first step is I try to find the expert from the area who can help me to understand the logistics business. Then we discuss the problem with the customer. We define the project for them, what we can do. Then we develop this project from the scratch. We ourselves, it's not that we just consult, we developed it ourselves. And then we get in touch with these experts once again to show the product and saying like, hey, this is the product that we developed for our customer. Never will say what the company is to avoid problems with ethics. What do you think about this product? So our expert provides us with the expertise. We improve our app even more, and then we show it to the end customer. And this expert from the different areas always have the chance to order the same product for themselves. So basically, I believe that our competitive advantage is the network that we have, me personally, that I have, the expert that we can attract and that we can use in our projects to answer your question. So we are not limited with only logistics or only business or only production.
How do you make sure that you don't overstretch yourself? So you have some type of agile softening when you talk with the customer, so that they say, okay, we need to do a lot of sprints because else we will build something that you don't want.
You know, I did a master degree about methodology, and I can speak about this for hours. But then, as soon as I finished my master degree, I joined the company, so basically the Decathlon, and it was COVID, and it was e-commerce where I was working it. So basically, you can imagine that e-commerce. It's opposite of any kind of methodology. It's more like torturing yourself and pushing you to the limits and to understand your limits. That's what is it. But it was for all the IT during the COVID time. So basically, we got the skill, and some of the people I work got the skill how to push, how to work. Obviously, we prioritize. Obviously, we're not trying to take as much projects as possible and then not to deliver not a single of them. But it's prioritization, it's focusing, it's that our team exists. And from the very beginning, when I opened the company, I thought about scaling this team. So all the communication, all the process, all the everything is prepared in a way so it's easy to scale the team that I'm currently having. And it's scaling pretty fast, I would say.
I don't want to hijack, but it's probably you wanted to
No, I had the
follow
same.
up.
Yeah. But did I answer to the question what we are doing in general, or still puzzle?
Opened up a couple more, but I think
You can discuss it a bit later.
Yeah, we will switch the coffee to whiskey and then we will have it.
maybe one
Actually,
more.
we have whiskey.
One more because
Just
it
cut it out
could
of
help
the
the others. Have you dabbled with no-code solutions?
Tried. You mean the company that is providing, or
Yeah, so you probably must have kind of stumbled upon kind of multi-app or rapid app development with some no-code solutions.
We considered.
I think for the people who are here, I think that it is a field that is very interesting at the moment. So if some of you are in the development area and there's kind of a no-code solution that could help with logistics or so, I think it's definitely a field to follow. But
True.
Your opinion or inspiration
You know,
in that regard would be interesting.
You know, as always, there are some advantages and disadvantages on whatever, let's say, methodology or framework that you're using. Depends on the project. Sometimes it's exactly what you need. Sometimes it's better to do it the other way. So it's case by case.
So for some projects, it was a success, actually.
If it's yes, I would say so. If you need to develop something like really quick and it's not that complicated, and you're not planning to build difficult architecture on it, and you're not having some modules on it and some integrations, etc., it could be easy. But sometimes the easiest solution that seems in the very beginning the easiest and to save the time could be the most difficult. And then later you'll have to pay more to develop and to invest more time in it. So depends on the case, and it's difficult to answer. It's like, you know, the same if you ask like what language you need to build an app. So that's the question. There will be like hundreds of opinions on it, and depends on the projects always. Yeah, sorry for taking so much time.
No,
Thank you.
It's very good. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question to the audience.
Yes.
Anyone else needs a drink?
Yeah, actually, you can go and pick
And you
up
are
the
very
drinks.
shy to tell me. I can also bring you a Coke, maybe. Anyone?
Don't be shy.
Really?
Oh, water.
Really?
Do we have a minute for one more question?
Yeah, sure.
Going back to your presentation, you
I
mentioned
just want
one
you
of
to
the
stay energized.
you mentioned one of the problems in the Baltics that you're experiencing is employee retention due to some factor about them wanting to build their resumes. Now, technology problems I think are easy to solve because to me that's just a problem that needs a solution, right? We can come up with solutions. But what do you think is important that these people are looking for, these employees in the Baltics? Like, what are they seeking that would create loyalty within these employees? Like, that to me is a much more important problem to solve, more immediate than technology problems, because you can just throw assets at problems and solve them, but the person you can't unless you go to another region of the world, right? Find better loyalty or better people. So what do you think that Baltic employees need in order to make them more loyal to your company? Like, what is the most important top 3 items that they're looking for?
So the question, if I understood correctly, I will rephrase to what the employer needs to do to have their employees loyal. Did I get it correct?
What is the employee looking for? Like what builds loyalty in the Baltics that you found is
Okay,
something
okay.
a company could use?
Personally, what I observed so far is the, let's say, soft skills in the team and like interpersonal skills of the manager or leader or boss, call it whatever you want. So basically what I have seen so far, that yes, it was a trend, let's say 5 years ago and before the COVID, the companies to provide these gyms, all these facilities inside, like what's Google doing, what's some other companies is doing. But right now, especially after the COVID, when all the IT people proved that it's possible to work from home, at the end of the day, I would select two main, let's say, things that is important for the employee. The first one is the team that they are working in, so the team is not toxic, so they can trust their leaders, so they have their personal connection, let's say. And the second one is it's the salary, so it's always like this. So the people who want to join, the first one is the team that they are working in and the good skills, good relationship with the team they are working in. And the second one is the recognition that they get. So that's what I observed so far. Obviously, all these facilities and coffee and barista at the office, etc., is the plus. I also know some companies have like animals and animal policy that is possible to come. Some have the turtle in the office, so it's all good and fun. But that, according to my opinion, two main factors are these: what people you will be working with, and what is the recognition that you receive. Did I answer your question, or?
I mean, I come from that opposite side of the world, right? So and I work for some of the biggest companies on the planet, but like the cultural differences between Eastern Europe and the Baltics and America, it's definitely apparent. But I've worked with global teams in the past. Like we had teams in Hungary, and I work with people in China and Australia, and I mean just the whole planet pretty much. I have a lot of difficulties as an outsider who's coming here and participating and trying to establish, you know, these networks and everything you're talking about, right? Like getting companies and getting clients, and it's still very foreign to me, right? Like this cultural environment, you know, this coffee, the dogs at your work. Like I worked at places like this that had all these things, but a lot of us didn't really care, you know. Like it's to my mind, it's an interesting mindset to put myself into to try to create something spectacular here. Treat employees exactly how they want to be treated, so their production rates go up and the people are happy, the retention's there, they want to be loyal, like all these things you're talking about, right? Like I think that is something I keep encountering over and over again with many IT companies here, and it's a problem maybe that not too many people are looking at that could create a bigger impact.
At the end of the day, it's the reputation. So you can make the fancy office, you can make dog policy, etc., but if it's the toxic environment inside the team, so everybody will know it, and you'll have the retention problem, and you'll have this conversion problem that you'll have like each second week you have another employee. But at the end of the day, it's your reputation as the employer. If you're considered to be toxic, it's difficult to allocate new people and to keep them in your team. If we speak about Baltics, if we speak about, let's say, different areas of the world, I know that the relationship between boss and the subordinate, let's say in the Asia, it's completely different. And how they select the place to work, it's completely different. If we speak about USA, it's also a little bit different story. So it's, once again, case by case, but if I had to select, the most important is the reputation of the employer. And by reputation, I mean not only the brand awareness, and how people consider you, but the reputation from the employees, from what the potential candidate knows about you. So that's to answer your question.
Thank you. Well, maybe I can add something from my side about this one. I think that we have a different way of thinking now in the last years. Because before that, it was a normal case when you start working in one company and you go till the pension and then you retire from that company. Now we have a completely different mindset. That it's okay, it's very normal to have these hop-up jobs, to do something, to have some crafting, and then I'm going to another company. There I'm having some job also, some activities. Then the next thing is also that is rather popular in the Baltics and in between our young people is that pretty much it's very normal. Actually, it is like as a trend that at one company you have to work for 2-3 years, not more. Because then at that moment you are reaching the ceiling, you are not able to grow, you have to go forward to the next company to grow forward, if you, to grow much more farther if you want to grow. This is also somehow. This is also the way of thinking how the young people are now thinking. And actually the IT guys are also thinking the same way. The second thing is also this freelancer way of thinking. I need money, I will do something, I will earn it, I have it, then I have a pleasure. That's why you have only 3 freelancers when you are returning, not 47. Because they are just not interesting to have a job. They have both their turtle or dog, or they are in the Canary Islands and they are having fun. That's it. And actually, I would like to say that from employer side of point of view, it's very hard. You can even dance, you can stand on your head. But if this your staff member has this approach that after 2 years or 3 years he have to go to the next company, then you cannot do anything. This is just a way of thinking, and we have to adopt it.
But this is not particular for this region.
No, I'm guilty of that.
Actually, particular in
3 years is a long time for me too. You know, I mean, every career I did, or every move in my career was also 3 years roughly. I mean,
so you are also not a loyal guy then?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you are also trying to grow up, and then you are asking us why.
But in the industry, it was very expected. That loyalty was expected in my industry that I worked in. Like my partners and people that I worked with, we knew that transition is about. I mean, we did everything we could to encourage my peers to excel in our career, right? Like that knowledge sharing, that helping each other in our industry. I've helped every person in my industry get another job at a better place, and even pick up phones and call. Like, we're okay with that transition, because for that short period of time they were there to help you, and it was a reciprocal love. You know, you do want new fresh ideas too, you know, like you get somebody in there for 2 to 3 years, they get used to it too much, they get too comfortable, so it's okay to like move around. I used to joke around, like in South Florida it was like a rotational pool of people. We always would work with each other again. We never burn a bridge, because we knew within 5 years we'd be. It's happened to me many times. I'm sitting in my office and I just have a face walk by the floor, and it's like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing here? You know, like you're working. Yeah. So it's just so interesting how it's a circle of influence. You know?
That's the thing that is implemented, the approach implemented in lots of corporations, called like zigzag development for employees, that you provide. If you're, let's say, big company, as you have big areas that you can provide your employees with opportunity to work in, then the person can start is, I don't know, logistics area, then in some management area, then some production area, and the employees can try several things different. So it's what some corporations are implementing to provide their employees to do the zigzag career. So they are still within the company, but in absolutely different areas. But it's when you're at the big company. If you're a small business and you have like limited positions, it's much more complicated.
So is Latvia still a provider, like kind of like a service provider, you think, or you think there are larger businesses and companies that are creating that new culture of maybe a different, you know, you don't know?
That's a very complicated question.
It's a whiskey kind of question.
Exactly.
Kind of.
And not even the first glass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because maybe I would like to say 50-50, both. Because really we have a lot of IT guys who are subcontracting by really giant companies. They are working from Latvia definitely, but they are working for the global leaders, for the global corporations, and sometimes we even don't know for whom they are working. They are not just sharing this information. Yeah, I'm working and that's it. And it's very normal for nowadays. At the same time, pretty much it's also on a situation that Latvia is lacking ICT specialists, especially in the coding and programming. We are lacking. We need much more specialists coming out from the universities. I would like to say that the last research was that pretty much we must have 300 to 500 more graduates per year from university. So it is not the number of 10 or 20, it is in the hundreds. So it means that there is request coming from the industry and from the local industry. But of course, at the same time, the local industry is not so competitive with the global ones, because the global ones are offering much more, let's say, much more attractive salary, also some bonus systems that are much more attractive that local ones are not able to offer at this moment. But of course, the local ones are also catching up, very quickly catching up, because if they want to compete in this market, then they have to compete in this market. There is just no options. There is no borders. You can work in Europe, you can work in Asia, you can work in America, you can work anywhere. And with this digitalization, with the digital coverage, it is getting much more and much more interesting and much more realistic. Okay, thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we are going to this idea pitch. But before the idea pitch, our video guys, Erich, can you put my presentation on the screen? The first presentation, what you have. We had 3 inspiring speeches. We had 3 professionals who showed about their products. They showed their way of thinking. They showed their life. They also presented something to you. And I hope that my presentation will be at some moment. And maybe you are asking why they have done it. They have done it. The coffee is good.
Yes.
Okay, something is not working. So pretty much while they are setting it up, then these 3 inspiring speeches was showing to you this way of this idea run, this idea pitch, this idea selection, and also how to work with all of these ideas. And we are leading to this magical thing that can be called, or is called, design sprint. These 3 inspiring speeches, they provided answer on all of these 5 steps in different ways. You was listening, and they already provided as examples how they were thinking, how they were approaching, how they were selecting, what challenges they identified, and what the competitors they identified. And this competition cannot be only on the product or service competition, but also how to have the stuff, how to work with it, how to approach it, and all this one. So pretty much this was a starting of the learning loop for you, for those who are going to pitch on Saturday and who are starting this STARRISE journey for the next 3 months. Now, about the teams. First of all, I will start with the teams, which I know, who I have got information from them. So, the guys who are online. Uwe Aliyev, he wrote in the Discord that their team is they are selecting this predefined challenge with exact product delivery addresses. The origin of this idea is coming from the Martinica, and the facilitator for this case will be me. And the challenge is that in Martinica they have, of course, there is Google Map and GPS is working, but these addresses are not exactly set in the place. And in some places and in some cases, the address refers to the place where there is no building, there is nothing. And the also challenges is within the factors that there is also large number of elderly people who are not able to describe exactly where is this address, even if this, in the case this GPS is not correctly showing where the building or house is located. They will be online today and they will join us on site tomorrow, Ulvi team. Then we have team gluten-free network. And Leonita, maybe you can come in front to say some words. But the gluten-free network originally originated from a Riga food event when they presented the challenges that there is approximately 10 or even less % of the population in the world who have this gluten-free tolerance, diet, and that they are all, of course, of them are not located in the same place. They are spread all around, and that is a challenging from the point of view of the business. And this challenge also includes the delivery challenges, and especially on the short supply chains, the temperature deliveries. But Lienīte will lead her team. You have already 4 people, I know. 2 of people are here on site, 2 of people are online. But Lienīte, in 1 minute you have the chance to say something about your gluten-free network that you are going to develop and why you have to develop. Because I know, but that on April, May, you must have a real sales, and you must have a real business, and you must have a real value chains created. Scaling, yeah. So, and for you, the facilitator will be Agnese. Okay, 1 minute.
I'm not prepared for it, but okay, I will try. I have a food production company. We are producing gluten-free vegan products. At this moment, we have specialization on frozen gluten-free products, and we have absolutely innovative products because similar is not available on the market. And we are also, but it's a huge problem that this market is not so big in one area, so a lot of people is in different area we have a lot of people, some people, yes, and we need to deliver this good for them, but it's very complicated because all retail markets, they want to selling to sell more, yes, and if they take these products on their shops, they need to show these results of the selling. So it's a challenge, I would like to say. Not problem, but challenge. Opportunity, yes. And especially when it's our company is located not in Riga, but we are located in close to Russia border, only 50 kilometers, yes. So we have this challenge also for delivering. For instance, the market for our is more in Riga, neither in our region, yes. But we are interested in export, of course, not here, to stay in our country.
And for the experts, they will have these challenges. So again, with this temperature control, yes, this temperature delivery.
Minus degree, actually.
Minus 18.
Minus 18.
And also the challenge is also how to reach these customers, yeah, because they are people, lot of people, but they are spread worldwide.
And as far as I know, that as our product is not only gluten-free, but we have gluten-free plus vegan, so this is absolutely specialization. And as far as I know, some people are ready to go 200 or 300 kilometers to buy these products because they really need them. It's a problem that this is a health issue most of the case, and that's why it's really very interesting to get this product, but how to do it. So it's a challenge.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So the team, you can meet Lienīte on site here, but also in the Discord. So, and you can start forming your team. Pretty much I know that you already have some people that are interested in this. Now, the next is where we see that we have came to this vegan question. We have something related to so-called vegan leather that is coming from mushroom mycelium and produced in new products and replacing the leather. So for this, we have, as far as I know, we have 2 team members. One is Ieva. No, you are also joining vegan?
I would like to, yeah.
Okay, then we have you, Ieva, and Dace in vegan. And your facilitator is Manuel. Manuel, you can stand up so everybody can see. And actually, this is very good case that Lienīte, you maybe also can speak with Emmanuel about the vegan cases. He's also a very good professional in this question. So, and now this is what I know currently from the already formed teams. Then there is one team also forming related to this client loyalty that is coming from Canaries, I know. I don't know when that guy will catch up us because he is not very professional in Discord, but we will try to make it in some Zoom or Google, whatever. So, but that was will be together with Niklaus, and then we will see what facilitator will you have. That's it, what I have now on the papers. So, now the other idea pitches. Do we have someone Who wants to go and pitch? No.
Well, these are for asking for teammates, or is
These are already performed, and they are also asking from the team for the teammates, but we have huge catalog, so that is also available online. Whoops. There is more than, I think, 30 ideas listed here.
Maybe you can read later.
Yes, I can do it very easily. For example, there is one of the pre-identified idea is increasing cargo mobility in the territory of Riga Freeport. So pretty much this was identified in Riga, but the same problem as we have noticed, it is also in the Canaries and also in Martinica. So then there is optimization of cargo flow, increase of fully load cargo logistics rate. So this is the idea, as the question is that the trucks, they are delivering the goods, and they are paid only when the trucks are fully loaded. And then the question is how to get the load for the back way, or where to turn them around. Then the next is regional food product portals to address large chains. The portal will initially bring together small food producers with plans to later expand by involving more companies from the Baltic and Scandinavian regions. So this is how the small producers can approach large chains abroad and to start exporting. So the question and the challenge is that the small producers, they are not able to produce the pellets of the products. They are able to produce some boxes, and then there is this question how to form this logistics. Then there is also a question or challenge, automatic control of the flow of people and vehicles in the closed areas or restricted areas. The similar is coming also from the Martinica Freeport, also a Freeport automatic vehicle control. So these are the grouped one already. Then there is one more interesting case, small port traffic at mooring optimization. Actually, I didn't know that this is a problem, but this was identified as a problem by Americans in the ports. And then later it was also identified by the Greece, and that I will read it. Project addresses the challenges faced by numerous small ports across the EU mainland and outermost regions. Many of these ports have general information about mooring requirements and pier availability. If they have but lack real-time data on which piers are free, occupied or rented out. And the question is that when the small recreation ships goes in or vehicles, then they have to drive around the port, then they are scratching each other, they are burning the fuel, and they don't know where to moor, and that can be that is a challenge for them. Then the next thing came out from Martinica, but today we found out it also actual problem here in Latvia. Temperature control systems of food products delivered in short supply chains. So, if the product is loaded in minus 18 degrees, then when it is delivered, it should also be in minus 18 degrees. And this control, it's a challenge. Then the next challenging also came out from Martinica, but also now identified here in Latvia, that cost-effective cooled and frozen food product delivery, especially for small producers. They have to deliver their frozen food, but they are not able to have these refrigerator trucks or vans. So then there is a question how to deliver. Yes, there is this frozen box or whatever, but these boxes are not so efficient. They cannot load enough stuff. So the question is how to make it much more interesting for them. Or maybe some solution, maybe new hardware, I don't know. Then there is repurpose of plant fibers as sustainable materials. Then actually there is one product, one idea is new products in Baltic Sea related to blue economy. For example, mussel growing, and actually this, as far as I know, is already taken by our Ministry of Agriculture. They have already done some activities. They have issued some legal acts to protect the areas in the Baltic Sea for aquaculture growing. Then we are also having something related to the satellites, to the space. a satellites for surviving agriculture lands, maybe also forests. So pretty much Europe is having several satellites that are providing images, and this analysis of the images for surviving what will be the amounts of the crops. As far as I know, there is already such services and tools developed and offered, but as I understand from agricultural guys, then these services what they are offering are not enough and not interesting for them to forecast the crop yields and also to forecast the drought areas or this one. Then, as I mentioned, challenges with exact product delivery addresses. That might be, yeah, that is what is written. Then there is also a very interesting idea identified pretty much. Again, it can be related to the space industry, to observation, and so seaweeds prediction and utilization, and especially interesting in tourist areas, because when nobody knows when these seaweeds will arrive, so pretty much, yeah, there is this temperature, there is all the currents, everything is fine, but they don't know at what moment, where in 1 day, in 2 days, or 3 days, or 5 days they will come, and when they come, what to do with them. And actually, this utilization might be very nice connected with organic farming, that it can be used. Yeah, might be. You can try. Then there is also idea smart resource management to reduce food waste using ICT and digitalization. So this is also can be hacked for some ideas or for some offers. So this is what is pre-identified. Much more exact information is in Discord, in the PDF. So you can start choosing the teams, you can start talking, and then I will show you the next room where you can sit and work in the silence, and then let's start doing. Some questions?
I signed up for something. I'm surprised it didn't.
Oh. You signed for what?
It was one on one of the novads wanted to have a food portal for the small farmers to be able to find, to create buyers for the farmers.
Okay, then super.
I don't know.
Maybe we should pitch that. Yeah.
It was a predefined one.
It was pre-identified.
Yeah. It might have been
Regional food product portals to address large chains.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah.
It was one of the novads, I think, put it on.
Yeah. There is the portal will initially bring together small food producers in Latvia with plans to okay. Then yeah, of course it's nice. But currently you are alone in the team.
No, but if nobody else, I can join other teams.
But I think you can call actually. So I think on the Discord there's actually people know. Hey.
Yeah. There is a speech.
I can join a team. I mean, her thing is very similar.
It is.
It just addresses one. I mean.
Actually, it's a very good question. Maybe I will join your team. But as a participant. But we can really sit and discuss. This is an interesting question. Okay, we will manage to have someone on your team. You want to join? Yes. Super. You have a team member. Who else? You are 3 already, guys. Super.
But I think there is some time to actually.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. It is just now the first acting. Oh, I am interested. I will do it. It is still open in the Discord. If you still are not able to join any team now, you still can do this formation.
There are still some people coming a bit later.
Yeah, they can do it also on the Discord.
Maybe you should move over there already. If you can catch the people.
No, we will show them a normal room. They can sit and normally discuss around the tables. They don't need to do it here. We have a separate room. This is like as for video and.
Doing some speed dating?
Speed dating? A bit later, maybe. Not now.
No, but sometimes in the hackathon it's called the speed dating session when you find your team.
We are trying to do the problem or the challenge is that it is both on-site and online. So they have to do on-site and online simultaneously. And they are pretty much doing it. So there is some speed dating, but we will not have some 5 minutes for the speed dating. Just opposite. We will let's make it a bit different. We will have it not 5, but maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes now in this room for just to discussion. You all will have to, but it will be not like a speed dating. It will be just introduction to each other. You all have to stand up, and you all have to start speaking with all of you. Yeah, for then 15 minutes. We will just see. If you will have a very nice talk, you will speak for 20 minutes. If you will be, there will be silence, like in nice project meetings, then only 10 minutes. Okay, guys, stand up.
But do we need to identify who is actually mentor?
Speak.
Who is,
No, speak. You have to speak.
I think the idea is if you now can familiarize yourselves with the project ideas already pre-identified, or you brought your own idea, try to talk to people who's interested in what kind of topic. And I would also say that we probably all check Discord to see who's there interested in whatever kind of topic, and then the teams will form. So if we give it as in said, right? If we give it a couple of minutes, you will understand.
Yeah, but we
who's
have
doing
more
what.
administrators here at the moment than participants. So in some ways,
Everyone who is here is participant.
yeah.
There is no administrators. There is no judges. There is no mentors at this moment. You all are equal. Like in Japan, you know? There is 2 times per year, there is one event. Then there is no positions. There is no chairmen, there is no presidents. They all are equal. They all stand up and they all speak to each other. They have a drink, they have a need, but they have to speak to each other. There are no positions. And this is this moment. There is no positions, there is no mentors, nothing. Stand up and speak to each other. And let's make friends. Okay, let's start. Don't be shy. Stand up.
Get some coffee.
Get some coffee, get some water, get some drink.
It's usually easier next to the coffee.
And then after this speed dating you are calling, I will show you the next room for working.
Yes, and remember that at 4:30 there will be food. 4:30, and then at 3 o'clock the first master class starts. But you can also watch master class in the second room.
They wanted me as a mentor, but I came as a participant because my
But this
background.
is great, so now you can be both.
My background is mainly in. I spent a lot of time in tech and cybersecurity. Protecting financial institutions throughout like the first part of my life, and then as a hacker. Yeah, I signed up, but it's the military defense has to accept my application. I'm a little taken by that a little bit.
No,
I'm
will
about
be
to,
down here again.
I'm about to pull some strings because like I have a really, really strong background in cybersecurity, but I don't.
Kas viņam ir? Viņš uzplēsis kaut kur. Pagaidu žaketes uzplēsis kaut kur. I have to say some words, but they will start. Okay, can I have attention, please? Okay, guys, sorry. I need attention. Okay, there is no attention. They all are so involved in the work so that maybe I can have some small attention. Before you are going further with all the talks, that only small information about the Discord. So at this moment, okay. At this moment in the Discord, we have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams or groups with the names. So the first group is gluten-free products and networks. So guys, gluten-free, join this Discord channel, Discord group, and start chatting, and that is your meeting point with other staff members. You can go to that room, but just a second, I will tell to all, then we all go. But you can use, you'll see, here is your group. Gluten-free products, chat room, and you can even have some voice. Then we have created also a group for challenges with the exact product delivery addresses. This is UVI team. Then there is also created group vegan leather products and everything that is related to this vegan leather and the vegan leather growing from mushroom mycelium and so on. There is a group. For you all, the meeting point for the group meeting point is a chat room or voice room. Then we have also created the group for innovative solutions for food producers in the Zemgale planning region, Latvia. This group is coming completely from online, and the team leader there is, his nickname is Laiming Antis. So, then, what it was Zemgale. Then we have also group regional food product portals to address large chains. This group is also created, and for you the meeting point is in this group room, chat room, in the Discord. So you will meet your team here. Then currently just I saw one more team was formed. They choose the topic, and they will be group number 6, but this is not so important because their group will be named New Products in the Baltic Sea. And this group came out of online. So this group, your group is created. At this moment, I can't see any other groups that have been created. So there is, from the online, there is nickname Mari. Are there anyone interested in working on these regional food products portals to address large chains? Mari is online or on-site with a nickname? Okay. Anyway, Mari, you have the group, goes to this group room, and then we will find out who is there and who is not there. What else do we have? That pretty much at this moment, that's it. If something will come out, I will let you know. Yeah, and that moment, that's it. Okay, now let's go to other room so that we can show the working place. Zintra Vedvings. Yeah.